Hey y'all, it's Jag. Welcome back to the arcade. Let's get back to just another game, The Legend of Zelda, the Ocarina of Time. Yes, Navi?
Listen.
Have you ever played the Nocturne of Shadow that Sheik taught you? I was just about to do that. I'm doing it. I'm doing it, okay? Leave me alone. Navi's bullying me. And the Nocturne of Shadow is the only way that you can get basically outside the Shadow Temple. In fact, this is the only teleportation song that you learn before you actually can reach the associated temple. Pretty much all the other songs you can get on the way. This is about the only exception where the song is required to get you past any barrier that separates you from the temple. Also, interesting to note, it's right above where the royal crypt used to be. Just slightly ominous for the royal family, in fact. There's a lot of dark history with the Shadow Temple that I will be trying to explain. Take note, however, this has the Sheikah symbol all over it. Like, that is the most detailed Sheikah symbol we've seen. So the Sheikah, being the Shadow people, are deeply tied to the Shadow Temple. Also, if I can get a good view of this pedestal, you'll see that it's got the emblem of the Fire Medallion on it. This seems to lend credence to the theory that the medallions were intended to be equipable items. In fact, the fire emblem, or the fire medallion, may have had the same use as Din's fire, and it was left in the game here as a clue as what you needed to do. You need Din's fire to light all these torches and open the door. And in we go to the darkest temple, but also kind of the most straightforward temple, to be perfectly honest. The Shadow Temple has its tricks and traps, but out of all the temples, it's pretty linear, to be perfectly honest. The shadow will yield only to one with the Eye of Truth handed down in Kakariko Village. Ah, yes, a clue that you're gonna need the ability to see the truth to move forward. Oops, no thank you. None of these illusions are solid. Like, if you know that they're illusions, you can just go straight through it. But if you don't know that they're illusions, you're gonna have to use the Eye of Truth to look through all the tricks and traps. And all the hidden walls, starting with here. I'm gonna put something else on the bar. Let's arrange my items thusly. That'll do. Alright, so we need to head through this hidden wall into this door. I am good at recapping what I'm doing at exactly the moment that I am doing it. One who gains the Eye of Truth will be able to see what is hidden in the darkness. Darkness. Now alright, we'll go in here first. The Shadow Temple. Here is gathered Hyrule's bloody history of greed and hatred. I was just about to mention that. In fact, I'm gonna need my Ocarina again. No one really understood what the Shadow Temple was about. Like, all the other temples worship the spirits of the element. The forest spirits, the fire spirits, the water spirits. The Spirit Temple itself is a celebration of the human spirit, represented by Link traveling through different periods of time to solve its puzzles. The Shadow Temple? Well, it could be a celebration of shadow spirits. Oh, get off me! 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 Oh no! Oh no! Run away! Usually you can stun lock them and they won't jump on you. Alright, let me... There we go. Fine, I'll just shoot you. There we go. So, as I was saying, the Shadow Temple might have had an entirely different purpose than the other temples. A much darker purpose, and you're gonna see that as we descend further into it. You found the dungeon map. Press start to get into the subscreens and look at the map, do the thing. Alright, let's take a look and see how big this place is. Honestly, it's not that big. Only 4 floors, most of them just have a few rooms each. The Shadow Temple might have been used by the Sheikah to torture and interrogate the enemies of the royal family. The Sheikah tribe, established in this game, is deeply loyal to the royal family. They're the Shadow Guard. And when they're talking about Hyrule's bloody history of greed and hatred, and knowing that this, what is hidden in the darkness, tricks full of ill will, you can't see the way forward, knowing that this is tied to the Sheikah themselves, they may have been interrogators and torturers for people who threatened the royal family. And in fact, it became taboo for the royal family to even talk about this temple. This became kind of the secret temple. Now, this looks familiar. We've seen this as a child. But there's a neat trick that we can do as an adult, particularly now that we've got the Eye of Truth. So if you use the Eye of Truth, you can see where it will come up. You can see where Dead Hand will emerge. And instead of getting caught, throw a bomb. You don't have to get caught to do this anymore. Just wait for it to come to you. It'll lower its head. Slash away. 3 or 4 hits, it'll go back to hiding. Just wait for the new spot to show up. Where is it? It's always a dark spot on the floor. And this one I don't see anywhere. Oh, it's over there. Let me go. Alright, you're coming all the way. Oh, it's all the way in the corner. No wonder I couldn't see it. Come on over. Oh, it was too far away. It is a bit random where it's gonna hide around the room. Like, sometimes it's easy to find, sometimes it's definitely not. And this time I don't see where it is at all. Oh, there it is. Come on up for air. You can't live in dirt, you silly monster. Alright, one more cycle of that and we should be good. Where did it hide this time? There it is. Stop putting it down, I'm pressing forward, throw it. There. And he's down. And we get all our magic back. Dead Hand, not a threat as an adult. Not even close. For a trouble? You got the hover boots. With these mysterious boots, you can hover above the ground. The downside? No traction. You can even use these to walk for short periods where there is no solid ground. Be brave and trust in the boots. Must be the shoes! Alright, now that we've got this and the map, we can leave this area. We're done. And I will be very glad to not keep getting interrupted by text dialogue that basically repeats itself quite a bit. Alright. So anyway, the Shadow Temple was kind of the hidden temple. It wasn't known to the populace, and all these tricks and traps were designed to keep people who found the Shadow Temple, keep them trapped inside, so they couldn't escape and talk about it. Only one who has sacred feet can cross the Valley of the Dead. Well, we have those now, but we also need to do something else. Make my beak face the skull of truth. The alternative is descent into the deep darkness. So if we don't find the right skull and it's random every time, then we fall into a pit. Stop that. I really hate the stick. I really hate the control stick, because it's basically rebounding to a new direction every time I let go of it. Alright, should be this one at the 2 o'clock-ish position. And if it's right, the door opens! Yay! We're not gonna die! Alright, now to get across this gap, we need to put on our blessed feet, our sacred feet, and trust the boots. You can't hover very long, but in a lot of cases, it's just long enough for Link to reach out and grab what you need to do to cross. Alright. Yep, that's what I thought. It's Bamos time. Or Beamos. That's the... Why did I call it a Bamos? That doesn't even make sense. Alright, if Navi hovers green around an area, usually that means there's a block or sometimes a fairy? This. Let's see if the Song of Storms will bring it out. I don't think there's a reason for a block. Oh no, there's something else here. Oh no, it was a fairy. Oh, it was a large fairy. I don't think you can catch a large fairy in a bottle, but it will fully heal you. It will heal all your health. Whereas a fairy usually doesn't unless they're reviving you. By the way, fake wall. I don't know if you picked up on this. And here is a torture device. Doesn't really hurt that much, and it can only cover the area that's circular. But it's there to be annoying. It's pretty good at that. Alright, I think, yeah, there is a hookshot target. So let's get our hookshot out. Pop! Thank you. Number 4. And number 5 is over there. In this room. Or not this room. There is a room. Oh, is that over there? There it is. That room. Ow. Alright. That opens up that gate, which we need to proceed. But this wall, it's saying something. It says, if you want to see a ferry to the other world, come here. I like boat rides! Ah! Actually, there's a ladder here. Well, a chain. Yeah, false floor. Tries to trick you into running too far, too fast, and falling down quite a distance. This room will be important later. There's nothing we can do here because we're blocked in. But there's the ferry to the dead, so this room will be very important. We just kind of need to make our way down outside this cage. The real reason why I'm showing this off, this will eventually be a shortcut if you need it. That's mostly the reason why I wanted to go down there. In fact, it's a mandatory shortcut. You will have to open that up. You won't have a choice. You found a small key. This key will open a locked door. You can use it only in this dungeon. Alright, so we got the key that we need. Let's head back. Of course, the Beamos is going to be back. So let's get our bombs ready because screw Beamos. There we go. Can we summon that fairy again repeatedly? It seems like it. Alright, this is another fake wall. Gibdos. Don't move. But there is an interesting thing about Gibdos. Actually, I have not even shown off the fire arrows. If you shoot a Gibdos or hit it with fire, actually doesn't seem to work in this game. In most games, if you hit a Gibdos with fire, it'll turn into a Redead. Not gonna work here. Or at least it's not gonna work while they're passive. So Gibdos aren't any different really from Redead. They've got the same attack. With Vigor and Sword, though, they're not a threat. Doing this should give us the compass. And like most undead enemies, they will drop magic. You found the compass. Now you can see the location of many hidden things in the dungeon. Right. So that's all 3 dungeon items already. Now all we need is the boss key, which we're not gonna get for a long time. Alright, Beamos is back, I know. Really? Thank you. Alright. Now, 2 out of these 3 walls were illusions. There must be something wrong with the last one too. It's not an illusion, but you can blow it up. There we go. And that lets us find the locked door that we needed that key for, and we're out. Don't proceed down this hallway too quick. There are Skulltulas everywhere. Everywhere. All the way down. As I said though, the Shadow Temple is very linear. It relies more on tricks and traps than, you know, really making you run all over the dungeon. Which is a refreshing change from, like, the Water Temple. Speaking of traps, guillotines. For all your execution needs. I really hate that the stick bounces that much. It's not really wasting too much magic. It's better than like pulling out my Ocarina every 3rd step. Watch for the shadows of monsters that hang from the ceiling. Oh, good! We know what that means. Here it comes. You don't get to go back. Alright. Now this looks like a place where you might want to use your hover boots, but it actually might make it harder for you to clear these gaps. We need to time it so that we don't get hit with the blade when we're in the middle of a jump. Good timing. Good timing. Also, we don't need to jump into the pit. That would be bad. And there's a bubble. That's just an FU bubble. Screw you, Skullkid, or Stophos. Sometimes you can knock that off, but really just kind of get in its face and try to stab as much as possible. It's not really good at defending against that. Now, we have a choice. We could go right. More correctly though, we want to go left. It's nice hidden platforms over here. I believe technically this room is optional, but it does have something we're after in it, so... Plus it gives us an entry point if we fall. We don't have to do the corridor of blades again. You hear that? There's something moving in this room. Now the sighs are invisible. However, they're also much less of a threat because the room's a lot larger. So the purpose of this room is to just go around and kill all the enemies. Speaking of which, let's assault that. Let's use fire arrows. I really need more opportunities to show off fire arrows. And knocked it out. Perfect. Alright. I don't want to keep using all magic if I don't have... Oops. Sorry about that. If I don't have to. The elemental arrows will play a lot more of a role in Majora's Mask than they do in this game. The only really useful elemental arrow is the fire arrow. Ow. But there is a surprising use for the ice arrow that I will get into later. And yes, there is an ice arrow. We could have gotten it. Technically, we had the ability to get it, but I've been waiting until I've been finished with all the temples. Alright, there should be some more keys. At least one more? I can see it. But there is one use for the ice arrows, which a lot of people may not actually know, and I'm not really going to have the opportunity to show it off. But I found out about it when I was looking stuff up about the Shadow Temple, and it's really interesting. It's really interesting that they did this. Alright. In the meantime though, Gold Skulltula number 96. And the first one of 5 for the Shadow Temple. You destroyed a Gold Skulltula. You got a token proving you destroyed it. Alright, what's in this crate? Or this chest? You got a blue rupee. That's 5 rupees. A lot of times... Oops, damn it. A lot of times... when you see a chest that's got something like 5 rupees in it, that was actually going to be a shield if you lost it to a like. So that's an opportunity to get a replacement shield. So that's nice. Yeah, other than that, we really just came here to get the Gold Skulltula. There's no other reason to go in that room. But that does mean we have to deal with the Stalfos again. And goodbye. Alright. For this, it doesn't look like it, but we're going to need our hover boots. It's just far enough where we need them. Alright. When it drops to its lowest point, use your hover boots, clear the gap, wait for it to rise up. Platforms rise up, do the same thing. Alright, now we need to take off the hover boots, unless you're just a big fan of ice physics. I'm not. Simple puzzle. Get the silver rupees. There's only 4 of them visible, but you actually might have seen where the last one is right before I went to the screen. You can see it under the Beamos right there. How rude. Alright, nice simple puzzle. Ow, that's fine. You knocked me really where I was trying to go anyway. Alright. Further in and deeper in. This is one of my favorite rooms. I just love the concept of this room. Only one with the Eye of Truth will find the stone umbrella that protects against the rain of blades. Well, only one with the Eye of Truth or one who pays attention. The stone umbrella is right here. You need to use this block to protect you against the spikes. If you don't, every time you get hit with the spikes, you gotta start this room over. So it's all about maneuvering this block basically on this track. Slow and steady wins the race. All you have to do is push it about halfway, and you'll block both. So don't push it too far. This is about right here. Also, I think you guys hear something, because I certainly do. Skulltula number 97. You destroyed a gold Skulltula. You got a token, proven you destroyed it. The gold Skulltulas in the Shadow Temple are more out of the way than they are really hidden. If I had to describe them. Alright, let's pull this all the way to the end of the track. Actually, let's open this chest before we do that. Okay, more. Hey, the Shadow Temple is providing what the Spirit Temple almost never did. Arrows. You're gonna need arrows. And they make sure to supply you with arrows. Alright. Now that we've pulled it all the way over here, we can climb up. And we're gonna be using these spike platforms to cross. There should be another chest over here. Blue rupee. Probably was a shield replacement at some point. Now we could use the spike trap to cross, or we could just use the long shot. Long shot's probably a bit safer, that way you don't run the risk of falling down there and being trapped. Come on, assuming you can aim it. Stick, you're not helpful. There we go. Why is the control sticks on the Wii U, like, so bad? What did they do to their stick technology? You found a small key. This key will open a locked door. You can use it only in this dungeon. Out of all the control sticks, the Wii U is terrible. The Switch has some pretty good control sticks. Even with the drift, the Joy-Cons at least feel more precise and more tactile. The Wii U, ew, it's really gross to use. Alright. So, let's put this away. What are we doing with this small key? Well, there's this guillotine off by itself that looks like it goes to a dead end. But this is the Shadow Temple. There's tricks and traps. Alright, jump across, and this other platform. Jump across. Let's time this properly. There we go. And we're done. That's probably the most convoluted room. More redoads. Also, actually, I'm gonna want my Eye of Truth. Of course, this room is not as empty as it appears. There are invisible spikes. So the challenge to this room is to maneuver your way around getting all the rupees without hitting the invisible spikes. Alright, you're down. And come over here. You're down. Get a small chest for that. More importantly, keep our magic topped off. Alright. Out. I just waded right into those spikes. Wow, go me. Alright. Anytime there's a hookshot target above a rupee, that's how you're gonna use it. This one should be right behind some spikes. That should be right above some spikes. Alright, where's the next set? Ah. So in this one, not only the platform, but the hookshot target itself is invisible. I mean, it's still there. It'll still hold you. And we need to use our hover boots to get that final one. And missed, and landed in the spikes. Go me. I love having constant ice physics on my feet. It's the best. Come on. Grab it. Grab it. There we go. Alright. Take these damn things off. I love the idea of the hover boots. I appreciate why they gave them a downside to use. They're kind of annoying. Alright, we appear to be trapped in here. And there is a giant skull pot. And some bomb flowers. Are you kind of getting the idea here? Go away, Farkeys. I see you coming for me. Navi. Navi, please lock on. I'll get rid of you. And grab you. In the pot. Just like back in Goron City. Something flew out, but I want to get rid of this fire keys. Please. Come here. You have to kill all the fire keys to get out of here. Alright, well, there's our small key. It was in the pot. Also, behind the pot, 98th gold sculptula. You destroyed a gold sculptula, you got a token proving you destroyed it. Only 2 left. Like I said, they're not really hidden so much as just a bit out of the way. Navi, you're the best. I love you. This is some good targeting. I'm so happy. I'm so happy I have said targeting. Really? Thank you! Good lord! Alright, with that, we're free to go. And I think this is where we're gonna call it an episode here. I mean, we're pretty much more than halfway through this dungeon. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for coming out and joining me today. As always, I appreciate it. If you enjoyed what you saw, let me know. Give me your likes. Leave me your comments. Remember to subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.